What did the Christian church usually say about heaven and hell? What do they believe in Christianity? Like many of us grew up as Christians. We grew up in the Christian church, and we grew up with the idea that, you know, heaven is this cloudy place with rainbows, and you walk up these stairs and the Lord puts a crown on your head or something like that. And hell is this place underground where people are tormented and it's fiery and people are screaming and there's demons everywhere. And that is what typically is what people think that heaven and hell is. I don't know. Somebody in the comments, tell me what typically what y'all thought hell was, if you could. We'll wait a little bit. We'll give some time. You can even chime in, David. Says Black Dazzle said exactly what I said. Yeah, exactly. It's usually is, this place, uh like when in a Black community, when somebody I mean, it's probably everybody when somebody passes away, right? When somebody passes away and they make the obituary, don't matter what type of person they was, they'll put the wings on them, and people be like, he got his wings, and they have a big old light coming from behind his head in the clouds, and it'd be like it'd be like he up there, he watching over us. What was he gonna say?
Like, have you seen the memes when they like when Harambe had died, or like when jokes got old and stuff like that? They would do that. They would make like obituary photos. Right. They made one of Harambe, like oh my gosh. But yeah.
Yeah, Sister Baranta Nawa said underground torture and torment forever. The cop said hell in the church was below with fire and the devil. Yes. Oh yeah. Did I say the devil? I said demons. The devil was there too. I think hell was where the souls of the evil, bad people would go after death. Yes. True. That's typical thought. And isn't it funny that like Christians, you only hear this really from Christians, where they literally will condemn somebody to hell. They say, look, matter of fact, David just did it. They say, you're going to hell. You're going to be in hell. Like Christians like have this thing in their head that they have the power to say whether or not somebody is going to hell. Right. Like you don't even know what hell is, and who knows who's going to hell? No one will really even knows that. You know what I mean? And nobody even has the power to condemn you to hell, but the Most High. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that Christians will always say that, like, you're going, he going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Like you if you don't change your way, you're going to hell. What? You better be careful, because you might be the one that ends up 6 feet. Right. You might be the one that ends up in a hellish condition. Right. If you could, let's get Revelations 5 and 10, right? Okay. Because they talk about heaven being in some place when you die that you go to. And if you was considered a good person, you're going to heaven. If you were considered a bad person, you in hell right now. So if you did bad in your life and people know you did bad, they're like, yeah, he's rotting in hell right now. And they said, oh, she's an angel right now because she was a good person. Go ahead. Let me hear it.
On the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. It has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
And we shall reign on the earth. When Christ returned, he made us what? Kings and what?
Kings and priests.
And we shall what?
And we shall reign on the earth.
That's verse 10.
Come on.
We shall reign on the earth, not in the sky. We shall reign on the earth. When the Israelites come, Khan, smarter than most, Khan. When the Israelites come into power, we will reign with Christ on the earth. Who are we going to reign over? Peoples, right. Nations. On the earth, though. Not in the clouds, not in some magical place called heaven that the Christian church has taught, that's in the sky, but on the earth. Right here where we at right now. Let's get Matthew 6 and 10.
Come on. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 10. Thy kingdom come.
Go up one precept.
Come on. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. In this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father, which art in heaven.
This is Christ, Matthew chapter 6 and 6, where they ask him, how should he pray? Right? Our Father, go ahead.
Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Right.
It's going to be on earth when the kingdom comes. On judgment day, after everything is said and done, the new kingdom, New Jerusalem, is going to be on earth.
Right.
And we will reign over the people on earth, not in the sky, not in a magical place. Let's get Revelation 2:25.
Come on.
You've never heard this from your Christian pastor because they don't know the Bible. They have not been revealed the mysteries. And even if you couldn't get it right now, it's because the Most High don't want you to get it. But it's plain and simple in the Bible that you have in your house, that your grandmother have open in the middle to Psalms on the table. Some of y'all got a Bible in the backseat of your car, and no one knows the Bible. But everybody says, oh, we going to heaven, or we going to hell, or he's my such and such. He watching over me right now. He a guardian angel. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Jeremiah. Young man Jeremiah.
I don't know why they think they like in charge of like who's going there.
Right. No one is in charge. In fact, we'll get that. We'll get about what happens to you when you die. I don't know why it's so much confusion when Bible's been printed all over the world in 3,000 different languages. I don't know why it's so much confusion of what happens when you die. Maybe people are not reading it.
Right. They're just putting there for.
Maybe they're not reading it. Go. What you say?
They're just putting there for just to design. Like, yeah, I know something.
Yeah. They just saying whatever comes to their brain. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
2:25.
Yeah.
Come on. The book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
He said, he that keepeth my works to the end, I will give power over the nation. Till the end.
Right.
Then I will give power over the nations. He will give us power over the nations. What are the nations? People on earth. Right. The nations on earth. Okay, let's get Revelations 21.
Book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
I saw what?
A new heaven and the new earth.
I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Right.
Go ahead.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
They both passed away. Go ahead.
And there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city.
You saw what?
The holy city.
You saw the holy city.
New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem. Not the Jerusalem you know as today right now in Israel where they, it's the infighting and everything going on. But he's seen a new Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Coming down from God out of heaven.
Coming down from the Most High out of heaven. Right. Go ahead.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So when we talk about the kingdom, it's going to be here on earth. It's going to be here on earth. Right. He said, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Heaven is twofold. Heaven can mean the sky. It can mean the dimension where the Most High is. It also can mean a rulership. So right now, white people are in heaven right now. This is their heaven.
Right. This
is their heaven right now. The Lord said, you know what? There's going to be a new heaven. That the heaven that you knew that Donald Trump is ruling and, JFK is ruling and, colonizers have ruled the world and conquered all of the different lands. That heaven is going to pass away. But I seen New Jerusalem coming down, and it's coming down from the Most High, and it's coming down here on earth. That New Jerusalem, what we read, we was in verse 20, 21. It had 12 gates for the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's clap it up for the Most High. Right? That's heaven.
Right.
Heaven is not a place where you go when you die.
Right.
Matter of fact, let's get what happens when we die. Give me the precept where it talks about being in the presence of the Lord. Like even in Ecclesiastes, it tells you there is no work or device or knowledge when you go into the grave. The dead know nothing.
Right.
You're at rest. You don't know nothing. When you die, you don't just appear like a TikTok video looking around and it's clouds and a light. And you like, hey, Lord, can I get inside the pearly gates? It don't happen that way.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord.
To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Now give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 5. You absent from the body, your spirit leaves your body. It does not turn into a damn angel and you start watching over people. And it does not go to this mystical place that Christians call heaven. Ecclesiastes 9 and 5, if you could.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything.
The dead know what?
Not anything.
The dead don't know anything.
Right.
The dead, when you die, you dead. So you're not in somewhere in heaven. You know what I'm saying? And we know your spirit goes back to the Most High. Not saying it's in some place in the clouds and you walking around and you like, what's up? What's up, Nipsey Hussle? What's up, Tupac? Hey, that was a good album. Oh, look, Marilyn Monroe. Like, no, it's not none of that.
The book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
So you don't fear man. That's simple. You don't fear man, but you fear what? But rather fear.
Come on. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
The Lord can destroy both soul and body in hell. Now, it's not like you die, then go to hell to be destroyed by the Lord.
Right.
The Lord can destroy you by giving you AIDS, by giving you a STD, by getting you being in an accident and losing your limbs,
right.
by you being destroyed in your finances, destroyed in your marriage. You will be in hell.
Right.
You will literally be in hell. Donald Trump just said that he gave what's those people over there that's holding the hostages? What's their name? I forget the name. That is the people that the Israelis is fighting. Hamas. He gave Hamas until one of these days, like probably like 2 days. He gave them an ultimatum to return the hostages. And if not by that time, all hell is going to break loose. That's what Donald Trump said. You understand the concept of hell. You just been indoctrinated by Dante's Inferno. We're going to get to that. Why people think that hell is someplace underground that is on fire. And that's where you go if you was a bad person immediately once you die. Let's get Deuteronomy 32 and 22. And then we'll get Dante's Inferno.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 20. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see that their end shall be, for they are very forward. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God.
So the Lord is angry at the Israelites.
Right.
He's saying these people are evil. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God by that following Moloch and Baal. Go ahead.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. Go ahead.
And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I'll provoke them in anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in mine anger.
The Lord said, because a fire is kindled in my anger. Go ahead.
And shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase.
So the Lord said, so the Lord is angry, and he said a fire, it shall consume to the lowest hell. He's angry at his people, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna turn my face away from them.
Right.
And they're going to be confused and in derision. They're going to go through it. They're going to go through hell.
Right.
Because my anger is burning at them. Hell is not a place, it's a condition. And now we're going to let me get Dante's Inferno. Now, Dante's Inferno is from a man named Dante Alighieri from the 14th century. He was exiled, and while he was exiled from his city, he decided to write a poem, right? And it's a narrative poem. It's called The Divine Comedy, and he wrote like 3 of them. It's followed by one called Purgatorio, which is purgatory, and Paradiso, which is paradise. The Inferno describes the journey of a fictionalized version of himself going through hell, and he was guided by an ancient Roman poet named Virgil. Okay, now this is an image of what it is like. You have layers, and you start at the top, and it has different layers. So let me just pull up this real quick. Let me pull up so we can explain, so you can understand. This is from the 14th century. So I'm going to pull up the actual breakdown so you can understand, and you can go look this up yourself. This is where the idea of hell comes from. The Christians at the time started this, and it was incorporated into Catholicism. Hell doesn't exist as you know it in the Christian church. Hell exists as a condition according to the Bible. It's you going through a rough time, a hellish state. You would have layers. And when you first enter into hell, like depending on what your sin was, is where you would end up in hell. So the first one was like limbo. You kind of like just in a place where you're entering hell. Then you had lust. Lust was a place where, maybe you committed adultery. So you would have people in that area of hell where they're just tormented by strong winds. They're still together. The people that committed adultery, they're in there, but they're tormented by strong winds. Then you have gluttony, right? And you just being rained on because you were so full of excess. You just kept eating and doing and gathering things. And then you have greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud. And you get down to the bottom, it's fraud, and you have the devil, right? And the devil was a three-headed devil that was eating human beings. This is Dante's Inferno. This is a poem that he wrote about a vision about going to hell. This later became an idea in the Christian church of hell being a place that is underground, y'all. Hell does not exist in the way that you think it exists.
Right.
It does not. Doesn't exist in the way you think it exists. All right. Now, if you could, let's get Ecclesiastes 3:16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
He said, moreover, I saw under the sun that what?
That wickedness was there,
Mm-hmm.
and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
That the place of righteousness, iniquity was there, under the sun. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 17. I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work.
So the place of judgment is where in this precept? Because we're talking about when Christ returns and where everybody is going to be judged. Because what do they say? They say that when you die, you go before the Lord in heaven. And then if you was bad, you go to hell. If you was good, you stay in heaven. They open up the pearly gate so you can come on in, right? Right here is saying that under the sun is the place of judgment. Under the sun means where? Go ahead, Ibad.
On earth.
On earth. On earth. Under the sun. On earth. I just proved to you with different precepts that heaven is going to be here on earth. It's a condition. It's a rulership. It's not an actual place that they taught you in the Christian church. And hell is a condition also. It's not an actual place under the ground with fire burning. That comes from a book called Dante's Inferno. That was a doctrine that was taken up by the Christian church. And today, millions of people believe that hell is the actual place with a fiery devil up under it. And it came from one man who was not ordained by the Most High. He was just a poet. And not only that, Dante, because of the people that he disdained in his life, he put a lot of the people that he knew in those different levels of hell. It's called a comedy. Yeah, that's your hell. That's your hell. If you could, let's get Psalms 18:3. Let's hear about King David and the things he went through and what he compared it to.
Book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 3. I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. The sorrow of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
David said, the sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. David was going through it. Remember, David was going through it when he was running from King Saul.
Right.
Someone of his own people who wanted to take his life. Go ahead.
The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me.
David said, the sorrows of hell compassed me about. So all of these things that David is going through, he is calling it hell.
Right.
He is calling it hell. These are real things that King David went through. And he is saying they are the sorrows of hell. Well, the sorrows of hell of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is you got to figure out how you want to pay your rent. That's hell. That's living in hell. Living in hell is living in a community where you can't get a job and you're trying your hardest to do better for yourself, but you are stopped at every end. That is hell.
Right.
Living in hell is when you don't know whether or not your daughters or your sons going to grow up and say they want to change their genders. That's hell. Right. Hell is a condition. Hell is not a place.
Right.
The place of judgment is going to be right here on earth. Right here on earth. And the heaven that you know today, it's going to pass away, meaning the people who are in the good condition, in the best places, living the best lives, and in our rulership, running the earth, that heaven is going to pass away, and there's going to be a new heaven. Right. And that new heaven is going to consist of Black and Hispanic people running the earth under a Black man named Jesus Christ. Now,
nowadays I work hard on the job till I come cross y'all. Still like I'm a criminal. Trying to get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting the minimum. It gon' dip, squat, 5-mile run, push, pull, sit on. Goddamn, get strong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long for they grown. I can't leave them on their own. They killed, they